news. Got a bit of a double upload. You know what I mean by a double upload? Back-to-back ProJared. Yes, as the ProJared story has broken, which was a video dropped by him, mostly dealing with what is clearly allegations from people who are not credible. Those are the allegations of the worst sort, and I would comfortably say they have been debunked. Now, there is a lot more to the ProJared thing than that, and one of those things is his ex-wife, and she's not happy. Ex-wives are rarely happy. I can tell you from personal experience, the bitch ain't ever happy, especially in a situation like this. Now, remember the ProJared situation started with, he made a post about that he was leaving his wife, Heidi O'Farrell, and they were going to deal with it privately with style and class. And he blocked her, made it seem like they were both on the same page, and clearly they weren't. Now, the situation got cloudier as days went on, that Heidi admitted that she was in a polyamorous relationship with him. So logically, a lot of people thought to themselves, well, if it's polyamorous, how can he cheat? Now, I'm sure it's more detailed than that. But that's not really what we're going to talk about there. We're just laying the groundwork. We're going to talk about her Twitter rage. We're going to just read as many as I can stand. Because unfortunately, my ex-wife has red hair, too. And she, although she's not Irish, she looks of the Irish persuasion with the freckles, and I don't want to get into that. I'm not gonna see my ex-wife in her. But here's what she had to say. Let's go over these tweets. This is great. Jared told me point blank, I own my infidelity. That's what it was, and there's no excuse. Now publicly he's insisting it never happened, and I'm just a liar. This is beyond dehumanizing. I think you could be dehumanized worse than this, but that's just me. He cheated on me, acknowledged it, and backtracked for the public. His angry GF, his angry girlfriend. He did suggest breaking up last October, and then it didn't happen. We had a conversation that ended with a mutual agreement to stay together. He kissed me sweetly. Oh, she's still in love. On his way out the door to go have intimacy with Holly at TwitchCon. Well, that wasn't childlike. That was more intimacy. I like that. It's hot. It's hot. It's hot like Heidi. Oops. Maybe I'm starting to miss my ex-wife. I canceled my own trip. to TwitchCon that week because he demanded that I not go. He told me that he would break up with me if I tried to go to TwitchCon, even though I had my own room reservation and stream audience at the time. I canceled my trip to save my marriage. I canceled my trip to save my marriage because my husband would have left me if I went to TwitchCon. Your marriage is clearly already over. The canceled trip, I had no choice. He threatened to break up with me and get some alone time with his mistress. I stayed home paralyzed with anxiety. My marriage would end no matter how hard I tried. He came home and smiled at me and told me everything was fine. He's not just lying. He's living an entire double life. I think we knew that. He's got a weird sex thing going on. Weird thing. We bought new phones in December. He gifted me with the new tablet and data plan. We renewed our driver's license, home addresses together. We simply weren't breaking up. He told me constantly he was committed. He didn't say that he wanted a divorce until February, and then I'm ending this. Instead, I'm not sure if this is working. February was the official breakup. Until then, he was getting indignant when I suggested he wasn't really trying to save our marriage. There's various screenshots of our conversation from that period. No, they're not romantic because Jared is very emotionally distant. He wasn't being honest about the... And keep in mind, Jared's video, and this is what she's responding to, is simply about clearing his name for, I would say, the bulk of it, the most important, about pedophilia allegations that came from uncredible sources and people that couldn't produce evidence. Let's check out some of these things. Good morning. I hope you slept okay and Aries wasn't too radioactive. I did sleep very well, and Aries did too. I'm sure I share my bed without directly touching me, and he seems satisfied with that. I love you. I hope your day goes well. And that was in January of 1990. So this is really clear that she wanted to stay together. And I think it's fair to say that Jared wanted out. And the only picture I'm getting from this is she wouldn't let him. So he tried this stupid stunt by blocking her and publicly saying they're breaking up and it's kind of mutual. Because that's how this started. That's where the anger came from. All the other false allegations came later. What really pissed people off, what got him to lose 100,000 subs in one single day, was the fact that he cheated on his wife. And it was only days later that we found out they were in a polyamorous relationship, and then it got foggy after that. It got foggy. Because, yeah, she was like, yes, but even if you're in a polyamorous relationship, it doesn't mean that you can do exactly what you want. And I think, while that may be true, nobody cares. They hear that and they're out of there. You know, I would think that was true. I thought people that, you know, I don't know, cuck each other, probably shouldn't have said that word. I thought people that did that sort of thing did have a rule set. But what do I know? I don't play ball that way, and I think that's something ProJared's learning right now. And he kind of mentioned it. This kind of overt sexual activity is probably not that healthy. It's not normal to sleep with other women when you're married. It causes problems. So I really don't. I think what she's trying to do desperately. She wouldn't say break up with me, and she wouldn't break up with him. She wouldn't sign the divorce papers. He wanted to get with the girl that he really loved, and he fired that on Twitter, and that's essentially what got him in most of this trouble. That's really what it did. He wanted out that bad that he made a huge PR mistake, and I noticed he didn't mention that in his video that you were lied to. He didn't really take responsibility for much in that video. He just said you were lied to, which in some sense we were, and everybody else was really mean to me, and they said mean things and mean jokes. And there's a bigger social problem here with drama channels that didn't reach out for me for comment, but they did. And then he also said he didn't want to talk about it. And he waited. Look, he can wait as long as he wants to respond to these allegations. But there is a problem if you're not going to defend yourself for months and a half. You're going to, people are going to talk. People are going to whine. People are going to complain. She also wrote it 48 minutes ago. She's not done. She's on a tear. And yes, I did not watch the video. His performance, voice, and face trigger me now. I spent months trying to talk to him while he stonewalled me. No point trying anymore. It is pretty clear that Holly wants to do as much damage as humanly possible because he fell out of love with her. And that's what happened. He fell out in love with her. And I might piss a few people off. This is why I don't go for the polyamorous thing. It opens doors that you shouldn't be opening. I'm sure I got these, some guys in there right now like, oh, no, it's okay, and whatever, man. Everybody I ever knew that tried some stunt like this ended up in a drama. Oh, look, there's me in my last ProJared video. Only 200 views. Guys, pick up the pace. Get the likes. Make it happen. Do it for this video, too. I just wanted something, I'm assuming he's a fan. Jacob Stabs wrote that I thought there was, in fact, I'm going to pin this. I can't. I'm on the wrong channel. I'm going to end up pinning this. Jacob Stabs, he wrote on the last video, my take is that it was important for him to clear his name of the allegations, which had little or no evidence to them. However, it should not have been the focus of the video. I disagree here because that's the stuff you got to get. That's the career ruining stuff. If you cheated on your wife, it's nowhere that bad as if you had inappropriate relationship with an underage person. But he does go on to make a good point. It should have been the overview. For example, him going into the morality of his accuser, saying they did it for attention, or it's simply irrelevant, comes off of him trying to buy back the bandwagoners to his channel. The focus should have been owning how irresponsible and creepy it was for him to solicit nude from his fans and lessens the sincerity of the apology because it wasn't the main focus. If I watched his content before, I wouldn't now. Okay. Now, I think the big thing had to be, I disagree with him right there. Now, as far as soliciting nudes, he did go on in the video and say that, he did say that, this is something I was involved in. I found out it wasn't healthy, but I did my best to limit responsibility for it. I did ask people if they were 18. It's not like I was trying to do something that we were looking for consenting adults. He also does admit there was a power dynamic there, and you can't really be the Nintendo good guy and have a relationship like that because you are always the YouTube celebrity and their fans, and he said that. But it's still creepy. It's still weird, owning how irresponsible and creepy it was for solicited news from fans. I don't know if he was directly soliciting. I think it was a group of people. It was sort of like a group of people that share nudes. I don't know if he was soliciting, but it definitely comes off that way. And he takes no responsibility for it. Jack of Stabs. He takes no. So you're right about that. So I mostly agree with your statement, but I got to tell you something. You don't think he did the thing wrong. He really didn't take responsibility for anything. The least of which, cheating on his wife. But we don't know whether he cheated on his wife or not. She's clearly making it about the way he treated her, hoping that would do the most damage. And is what she got this ball rolling. And the news that were found online in the Sailor Moon outfit, the fact that he was in this group in the first place, the fact how irresponsible it was. Yeah, he asked people if they're 18 or not, but you knew somebody was going to slip through. Like, how stupid was that? He didn't take much responsibility for that. He just said it was unhealthy. The unfortunate thing, here's the thing, Heidi. Nobody cares. And this is why Mr. Stabs, Mrs. Stabs, this is why the video had to be about the more serious allegations. Because that's stuff you got to take out first. And it also helps deflect from her. He did a pretty good job. This is a pretty good comeback. Heidi's got nothing but the fact that her marriage fell. She was rejected by her husband. That's really what happened, and she's pissed. And this is the beginning of his comeback, and she knows it. Follow us on Twitter. Peace.